Jung was also experimenting with imaginative techniques, with visionary techniques, which he did a lot. And there was a period of his life where he was having a constant stream of visions, which he wrote down in a book called The Red Book. But at the same time, he was still functioning as a psychiatrist and operating normally in the world. And so, people have suggested that what he had was a psychotic break, but that's ridiculous because that's not how it works, man. If you're having a psychotic break, you're not being an effective psychiatrist. Those things do not go together, especially not for a long period of time. And so there's the possibility of extreme experience without psychopathology. And so, and Ellenberger, he says much the same thing about Freud and about Charles Darwin as well, who underwent a terrible period of mental confusion, I would say, as a consequence of formulating his theory of evolution, which was really hard on him because he was a die-hard Christian, and he knew what the implications of his theory were. He didn't know what to do about that, so it was very, very hard on him. So it's quite common for people of genius to go through an intense crisis, psychological crisis, but then resolve it, and the genius is in the resolution, right? The precondition for the genius is the dissolution in some sense, because you have to be obsessed with the problem. It has to grip you completely before you're going to concentrate on it so obsessively that you might come up with a solution. But it's the people who come up with a solution that are the prophets and the shaman and so forth and so on. And so this isn't something that only characterizes archaic cultures. We just don't recognize it in our own culture properly. And that's a problem. Well, sometimes we do. Right, you remember that in The Lion King, right? That Rafiki shows up, he's the shaman, he brings Simba down that tunnel, dark tunnel, that's the dark night of the soul. He has him reflect upon himself in a pool. When he reflects upon himself deeply, he sees the reflection of his father, then that becomes a thing of cosmic significance. And his father appears in the sky, just like God appears to Jacob, and basically tells him that it's time for him to grow the hell up and to return to the devastated kingdom and to set it right. And that's right, that's exactly right. I mean, we live in the devastated kingdom. That's an eternal truth. And it's the responsibility of the individual to grow the hell up and to set it right. Because when it's devastated and when things are not in place, then everyone suffers too much. And that's not good. And there's no excuse for not doing something about it because you don't have anything better to do. So, and even like children's movies tell you this.